Let me tell you a story about my good friend. Let's call him Tunde. Life had not been easy for him. After losing his job, his world felt like it was crumbling. He was a good man, a hardworking man, but things just weren't going his way. He felt lost, completely adrift. One evening while scrolling through his phone, he saw a video. It was a charismatic preacher, a man they called the Prophet of Prophets. Tunde was captivated. The preacher's words were like a cool drink of water in a desert. This man spoke with confidence, promising instant breakthroughs, financial miracles, and a direct line to God's favor. The testimonials were powerful, with people crying and thanking the prophet for changing their lives. Tunde felt a spark of hope ignite within him for the first time in months. He thought, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the answer to all my prayers. He started following this prophet religiously, watching every live stream and sending amen in the comments. The prophet said that to unlock your miracle, you had to sow a dangerous seed. It wasn't just about giving what was comfortable. It was about giving until it hurt. So Tunde, desperate for a change, gathered the little money he had left. It was money meant for his family's rent and his children's school fees. He sent it all to the prophet's ministry, believing with all his heart that his miracle was just around the corner. Weeks turned into months. Tunde's situation did not improve. In fact, it got worse. The landlord was threatening eviction. The school was sending reminders about unpaid fees. The prophet's promises of 100-fold return never came. When Tunde tried to ask questions, his comments were deleted and he was eventually blocked. He was left with nothing but an empty bank account and a heart full of shame and regret. He had been scammed. He wasn't looking for trouble. He was just looking for hope. And someone took advantage of that. This story is why we need to talk about this openly and honestly. So what do we mean when we talk about a spiritual or religious scam? It's a very serious issue and it happens more often than we think. Simply put, a spiritual scam is when someone uses religion, faith, spirituality to trick people and take their money, power, trust. These scammers are masters of manipulation. They prey on people's deepest hopes, fears, desires. They know when someone is facing difficult times, sickness, financial trouble, heartbreak, people become vulnerable. They present a fake lifeline. These scams aren't small street donations. They are highly organized operations that look legitimate. Slick websites, charismatic leaders, thousands of followers on social media. Language of faith and promises of divine intervention build a powerful illusion. They create pressure to give, to believe without questioning, to obey without thinking. Why does this matter here in Nigeria and across the continent? Faith is central to our communities. Deep belief is beautiful and also a target. Scammers exploit reverence for God and respect for leaders. They twist sacred teachings for greedy ends. The damage goes beyond an empty wallet. They shatter faith, break up families, leave deep emotional scars. Victims often lose more than money, sense of self-worth, trust in others, sometimes belief in God. They feel foolish, ashamed, isolated. We must bring this into the light. Understand how scams work. Learn the warning signs. Protect ourselves and loved ones. Not attacking faith, protecting it from those who weaponize it. True spirituality should build you up, not break you down. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need this message. One of the first and biggest red flags you should always watch for is the special one complex. This is when a spiritual leader claims that they and only they have an exclusive connection to God. They will say things like, God only speaks to me, or I am the only one with the true revelation for this generation. They position themselves as the sole gatekeeper to blessings, miracles, salvation. This creates a powerful sense of dependency. If you believe they are the only channel to God, you will feel you cannot leave them, no matter what. They tout their special status constantly. They share unverifiable stories of divine encounters. They claim heavenly titles or anointings that set them above everyone else. Their pictures are everywhere. Their words become gospel. Criticism is framed as an attack on God. This is classic manipulation. By making themselves indispensable, they gain control over followers' spiritual lives and often their personal lives too. Think about it in everyday terms. If a mechanic claimed only he could fix your car and others were frauds, you'd be suspicious, right? You'd probably seek a second opinion. Apply that same critical thinking to spiritual leaders. True guidance empowers your personal relationship with God. It should not make you dependent on one person. A genuine leader points to God, not to themselves. They teach you how to fish, not just give you a fish every day. So when a leader constantly proclaims their uniqueness, be careful. When they say leaving them means leaving God's grace, an alarm bell should ring. This signals spiritual pride and a desire for control. It's often the first step toward a cult-like environment. Remember, your connection to the divine is personal. No one owns the hotline to heaven. Be wary of anyone who claims they do. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest content on protecting your spiritual journey. Let's talk about the money. Now, there is nothing wrong with giving to a church you believe in. Tithing, donations used to support the community and help the needy. However, in a spiritual scam, the focus on money becomes excessive and obsessive. You will hear sermons more about financial sowing and reaping, not about grace, love, or kindness. These scammers are masters at using guilt and promises to get into your wallet. Partner seed, prophetic seed, first fruit, danger seed. Each one promises a bigger and faster miracle. They tell you the size of your blessing is tied to your donation. They might say failing to give will block your prayers or bring a curse. This is spiritual blackmail, plain and simple. Another clear sign is the leader's extravagant lifestyle, while followers struggle. Another major red flag is the push for secrecy and isolation. A manipulative leader will try to cut you off from your support systems, family, friends, anyone who might question what's happening. They'll tell you these people are negative, unbelievers, or demonic influences trying to block your blessing. This isolation makes you more dependent. When cut off from outside perspectives, the leader's voice becomes the only one you hear. This creates a powerful echo chamber where the leader's teachings are constantly reinforced. These groups often have inner circles, special meetings only for the most committed members. To get in, you must prove loyalty through large donations or cutting ties with outsiders. By isolating you, the leader weakens your ability to resist their influence. Your family and friends know you best. They're often first to notice when something is wrong. A scammer knows this, which is why they put a wall between you and them. A healthy spiritual community encourages strong family bonds and connections with the wider world. If you're being told to abandon your loved ones, run. And remember to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. In a healthy spiritual environment, questions are welcome. They're seen as signs of a curious mind, a genuine desire to understand. But in a spiritual scam, questions are seen as doubt, rebellion, a lack of faith. If you dare question the leader's teachings, prophecies, or financial decisions, you'll be quickly shut down, publicly shamed, or kicked out. The message is clear. You are here to obey, not to think. This creates a climate of fear. People become afraid to voice concerns, even to each other. They suppress critical thinking and accept the leader as absolute truth. The leader often uses scripture out of context, quoting, "Touch not my anointed," to claim immunity. This is a gross misuse of religious texts to avoid exposure. They create a system with all power and no responsibility. Think of other areas of life. When you go to a doctor, you ask questions about your health. When you take your car to a mechanic, you ask what's wrong. So why should your spiritual life be any different? Your spirit is your most precious asset. Falling for a spiritual scam comes with a very high price. And it's not just about money you lose. The emotional and psychological damage can be devastating. People experience profound shame, betrayal. We've heard heartbreaking stories from Lagos to London. People have sold properties, emptied life savings, taken massive debts. Families gave children's tuition as seed money, only to see their futures destroyed. Businesses collapsed because owners sowed all their capital into fraudulent ministries. The social cost is enormous. These groups demand followers cut ties with family and friends. One of the saddest consequences is damage to actual faith. After being manipulated in God's name, many become cynical about religion altogether. The scammers don't just steal money, they steal faith. They poison the well for everyone. A genuine spiritual connection can be a powerful source of comfort, strength, and community. These scammers rob people of that possibility, leaving them spiritually adrift and wounded. Please consider subscribing and sharing this important message. Now that we've identified the red flags, let's talk about practical steps to protect yourself and your loved ones. The first and most important step is to trust your gut. Your intuition is a powerful tool. If something feels off, if a leader seems too slick, if promises sound too good to be true, don't ignore that feeling. Secondly, do your research. Information is at your fingertips. Before you commit your time, trust, or money, look them up online. What are former members saying? Are there articles, videos, court cases related to their activities? Always maintain connections with people outside the group. Do not allow anyone to isolate you from family and longtime friends. These are people who have your best interests at heart. Listen to their concerns. A healthy community will respect your existing relationships and encourage you to maintain them. Never be pressured into quick decisions, especially about money. They'll say, "This is a limited time offer from God," or "You must sow this seed before midnight." This is a sales tactic, not divine instruction. Take your time, pray about it, discuss it with your spouse or trusted friend. After all this talk of scams, I want to end on hope. There are countless genuine, honest, supportive spiritual communities out there. Fake currency exists, but real currency still matters. Likewise, spiritual scammers exist, but true, life-giving spirituality is real. Leaders who serve with humility, teachers who empower with wisdom, communities that love unconditionally. A true spiritual home is where you feel safe, not scared. You're encouraged to ask tough questions and seek understanding. A community that builds you up, celebrates your successes, supports you through failures. Focus on love, service, genuine connection. Not money, not power, not the ego of one leader. Your spiritual journey is deeply personal. Walk it with sincerity and an open heart. Don't let fear of scammers stop you from seeking peace and connection. Let this knowledge empower you. Use red flags as a guide. Trust your instincts. Stay connected to loved ones. Seek transparency and humility. True spirituality brings freedom, not bondage. It brings peace, not anxiety. It leads to generosity of spirit, not just emptying of your wallet. Share this message with friends and family. Talk openly about these issues. Share your story in the comments. Warning or encouragement. Your experience could be what someone needs. Let's look out for one another. Let's protect our faith, our families, and our communities. Stay alert, stay wise, and never stop seeking the truth with an honest heart. You will find it. If this video has opened your eyes or confirmed your suspicions about a spiritual situation, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need protection from these predators. What's your experience? Have you encountered these red flags? Share your story in the comments below. It could save someone else from falling into the same trap. Until next time, stay blessed, stay wise, and keep seeking truth.